A very good morning to all the students. So my today's lecture is for the BA second year students, and the play that we will be discussing today is the Swan song, written by a Russian writer Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. Now before starting with what the play is about, I would want all of you to know a little bit about who is Anton Chekhov. Now Anton Chekhov is a renowned short story writer. He is considered one of the greatest short story writers in world literature. Along with writing short stories, he has written various full-length plays, and four of his world-acclaimed plays are The Seagull, Uncle Vanya, Three Sisters, and The Cherry Orchard. Now, before starting his journey as an artist, as being a playwright, Anton Chekhov was a medical practitioner, and he had great sympathy for people around him. And the sympathy moved him to write plays about people, about the ironies of life, about the sufferings that he was witnessing in the Russian society in the 18th century. Now, the title of the play is The Swan Song. Now, before starting with what the play is about, who is the protagonist of the play, all of you need to know what a swan song is. A swan song, it is an ancient belief that a swan before its death gives its best performance of the life. So metaphorically, a swan song means any person, कोई भी इंसान जो अपनी जिंदगी का लास्ट आर्टिस्टिक परफॉर्मेंस देता है, जो उसकी लाइफ का सबसे बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस होगा, उसको बोलते हैं द स्वान सॉन्ग. अब बच्चे अगर हम प्ले की बात करें, इस प्ले में प्रोटैगनिस्ट का नाम है स्वाइट लाविडॉफ. स्वाइट लाविडॉफ is a 68-year-old actor. Now, being a 68-year-old man, he has devoted 45 long years to the career of being an actor. And being an actor, the major role that he has been playing is that of a joker, of a clown. Now, his role is to make people happy, to make them, to give them humor and to lift their pains and their sufferings and provide them some solace in this artistic form. Now, the play The Swan Song is about the journey of an artist from his greatest heights to the dizziness of an actor who has been now forgotten. Now, as we all know, whenever an actor starts with his or her career, he receives fame. He is young. He is, So now when the play starts, the setting is of a stage and the lights are switched off, the audience has gone, and Swite Lavidov is sitting in the dressing room. Rather, he's not even sitting, he had dozed off because he was under the consumption of alcohol. Now, before all this happened, Swite Lavidov gave his last performance to the audience as a clown, and after giving his performance, he comes back to the dressing rooms, he consumes alcohol, and he dozed off, and everybody has gone. The audience, all the technicians, everybody has gone, and they have locked or they have forgotten that Swite Lavidov was still inside the theater, and he is there inside. It is dark and it is gloomy because Swite Lavidov is sad. He understands, he is kind of thinking that his former glory has gone. Now his career has his career has ended. He thinks that the performance he delivered was a swan song. He is never going to get the opportunity to play a character again on the theater. He even calls himself a squeezed lemon, and the reason for calling himself a squeezed lemon is because he thinks that he has turned old, and now he is not going to get as many roles, as many characters as he was being offered earlier. Now, being alone on the stage gives him an ironic view of being an actor. An actor is always used to the theater, is always used to see a theater full of the audience cheering for the artist, for his act. But this is the first time Swite Lavidov is seeing the theater completely empty and dark. And this darkness and emptiness is ironic, is also, showing the darkness that he is feeling inside his heart. He feels that his audience now will forget him, or rather have even forgotten him. Now he is not going to get as much work as he was getting earlier. It is just that When Svyatlavidov goes to the stage from his dressing room, he sees that the curtain had been laid and the stool had been overturned. And this is a symbol that the play has been, already performed, and the play has been completed. That means the job of the artist has already been done. Now, Svyatlavidov is alone, he is sad, and he's also feeling fearful because the theater is locked. He has called all the attendees, but nobody answered to him. Now, the second character who is going to come on stage is Nikita Ivanich. Now, Nikita Ivanich is a prompter. Who is a prompter? A prompter is a person, एक ऐसा इंसान जो स्टेज के पीछे रह के अगर कोई भी एक्टर अपना डायलॉग भूल जाता है, उसको एक प्लाकार्ड के थ्रू उसके डायलॉग्स को रिमेंबर करने में उसकी हेल्प करता है. सो निकिता इवानिच इज अ प्रॉम्प्टर एंड ही हैज बिन स्टेइंग इन द थिएटर बिकॉज उसके पास रहने के लिए और कोई घर नहीं है, और वो थिएटर में थिएटर की कंपनी का जो मालिक है उससे छुप के वहां पे रह रहा है. सो जब निकिता इवानिच स्टेज पे आते हैं तो उस समय स्वाइटलाविडोफ कंप्लीटली डर जाते हैं. ही थिंक्स दैट देयर इज अ there is some kind of a spirit on stage, because he could not expect कि इतनी रात को who is going to be in the theater when the audience has left, when the performance has been done. So he does not even realize that somebody can be there in the theater. So बच्चे जब निकिता इवानिच स्टेज पे आते हैं, सो स्वाइटलाविडोफ आस्क्स हिम हु इज इट, एंड इन अ वेरी कॉमिक सीन निकिता इवानिच सेज इट इज आई सर, इट इज आई, and Svyatlavidov cannot think who is I can be anybody, so he again asks who I, and it is then Nikita Ivanich tells that it is me, Nikita, the prompter. And then Svyatlavidov gets some relief because he understands that it is the prompter who has been staying in the theater. And Nikita Ivanich also tells Svyatlavidov the reason for him staying there is because he does not have a house, and without the permission of the the owner of this theater, Alexei Fomich, he is staying there. He spends all his nights over there, and he even requests Svyatlavidov not to tell Alexei Fomich, otherwise he will be homeless, he will be left with no place to stay. Now Svyatlavidov is sad, and he even shares his sadness with Nikita Ivanich. However, it is Nikita Ivanich who provides some solace, some consolation to Svyatlavidov. He reminds him how his former glory was, how the audience used to go crazy at one gaze of Svyatlavidov, at his dialogues, and he assures Svyatlavidov that he is not a squeezed lemon. His former glory has not gone, that he still has the craft of an artist in him intact. And then Svyatlavidov agrees that he still has the vigor to perform, the passion to still perform on the theater. Now they are just talking about Svyatlavidov's past, present, and even the future, and that is the time when Svyatlavidov again turns very sad because he remembers of an instance which happened in his former days when he just started the acting profession. He remembers how he loved a woman very passionately. The woman was beautiful, graceful, and as radiant as the summer dawn. Now Svyatlavid was completely in love with him. With her, he was head over heels in love with that lady, and that lady completely reciprocated Svyatlavidov's loves, because she used to usually come and watch Svyatlavidov's performances. But the day Svyatlavidov performs that woman, she says something that breaks Svyatlavidov's heart. She says that if you want to marry me, you need to give up the stage. Now, give up the stage is a dialogue which Svyatlavidov has not even forgotten in so many years, because he felt shattered when that woman kind of insulted Svyatlavidov's profession, because she could love an actor but she could not marry an actor. That is when Svyatlavidov remembered, and he realized that people still in the society, in the Russian society, considered people who are actors below their dignity. Because now, bache, we are talking about the 18th century. 18th century was still a time when people did not consider acting as a noble profession. They looked down to people who were actors. So Svyatlavidov's heart was broken. He was lonely, and over here in the play we are not even indicated indicated of Svyatlavidov's family. So we realize that he is an empty So the day Svaitlawidov decides to propose this woman, she says something which completely shatters Svaitlawidov. She says, "Give up the stage." Now, when the woman was falling in love with Svaitlawidov and vice versa, when Svaitlawidov fell in love with the woman was completely aware that Svaitlawidov's profession was an actor. Something that he did to win his bread, to earn money, was acting. So she knew that from the very beginning. But her saying that Svaitlawidov should give up the stage if he wanted to marry that woman it meant that she did not look up to Svaitlawidov's profession. Now, बच्चे, we need to remember we are talking about 18th century. 18वीं सदी की बात कर रहे हैं जब अभी भी people did not look up to acting as a profession. People used to look down. People used to degrade the people who were into the acting profession. It was not considered a noble profession. So that is one instance which Svaitlawidov, even still when he is 68 years old, remembers that scene very clearly in his mind, because that woman broke Svaitlawidov's heart. Now, even Svaitlawidov knows that that woman loved him and everything, but he did not give up the stage, because this was something that it was his passion. He wanted to act. That was something that he wanted to follow. But even after so many years, he could not forget that instance. Now, after listening to this story, Nikita Ivanich is obviously very sympathetic towards Svaitlawidov, and he says that he is under the consumption of alcohol, so Nikita should go and leave him at his house. But Svaitlawidov at that very instance says that I do not want to go to my house. My house is empty. I do not have anybody to go to. Not no father, no sister, no mother, no wife. That means that Svaitlawidov was so broken that he decided never to marry again. So this instance, so बच्चे, Svaitlawidov still continuing to mourn his former glory. It is at this point, at this juncture, that Nikita Ivanich reminds Svaitlawidov that his audience loves him. He says that, so what if a woman did not understand you, if a woman did not respect your profession, but your audience loves you. But Svaitlawidov, from that very instance, when that woman degraded his profession, he understood that all the audience cheering, all the audience praising him, trying to get a picture with him, trying to get an autograph of him, all of that was a lie. He understood that they come to the theater to provide themselves with a comic relief, but they do not really respect Svaitlawidov. For them he is just a means of getting some relief. So Svaitlawidov understands that his acting profession is something that it is his passion, but the audience did not really understand or respect the profession of this actor. So Svaitlawidov is talking to Nikita Ivanich, and suddenly he is filled with so much vigor that he wants to narrate all the dialogue. So he picks up famous speeches from Shakespeare and Alexander Pushkin. He picks up two plays from Shakespeare, that is Othello and The King Lear, and he asks Nikita Ivanich to play the fool, and he will deliver some dialogues. And in this process he is delivering the dialogues with so much vigor, energy and passion that he realizes that his life is not over. He understands that, so what, he is 68 years old, he can still continue to play the part of a fool. He can still entertain the audience, and at this very juncture he realizes that his age is not a barrier, and he still has the art and the passion and the vigor to perform as fiercely as he was performing earlier. So this is the journey of an actor who is 68-year-old, who sometimes falls into the dilemma that his life is over, that his profession of acting will now not bear him any roles, and the very other moment when somebody encourages him, he understands that he has the passion in him still. So the title is very appropriate, the Swan song. But now over here we need to understand that Svaitlawidov gives two performances. One performance is the performance which has taken place before the play begins. audience. Now that is the play, that is the performance which Svaitlawidov considered. He thought it was his Swan song, which was his last performance, but that is not really the last performance. The last performance is performed with only Nikita Ivanich as the audience, and Svaitlawidov performed dialogues from Shakespeare's play. So the story is very short, simple, but still it shows us the fickle-minded people who do not respect others' profession, how major or how little it might be. So thank you so much. I hope you understood the gist of the story, what the story is about, what is the life of an actor, what are the struggles. We all see the glitz and glam of being an actor, but we do not understand what happens to an actor when his former glory, when his age, when his youth has gone. How does he come to understand that he is far above being just an youthful and smart and handsome actor. He is more than that. So thank you so much. I hope all your questions will must have been answered through this lecture, but still, if you have any questions, you can write it to me through WhatsApp or in the comment section. Thank you so much.